Hello and welcome to Coco Styling. My name is Micah and today we will be talking about dark winter examples. You might be a bit confused if you haven't seen my latest videos on color, so I will insert a card somewhere in this video linking it to my color playlist. If you're interested in learning more about color and styling, make sure you subscribe and that you turn on your notification bell. And if you want to skip all of this process, you can hire me to be your personal stylist at cocostyling.com. One of my services being making custom color charts for my clients. And if you already know your season, you can also get my downloadable color palettes. Before we start, a small disclaimer, I don't actually know any of these celebrities, of course, so I will be using pictures from the internet and that can affect lighting. You can manipulate your temperature and contrast level by editing your photos, so please keep that in mind. My first example is Danielle Brooks. Her skin tone is between deep dark brown and dark brown, and her overall undertone is neutral cool. She also has black eyes and black hair. Side note, I know that no one has black eyes or black hair, but saying black is way easier to understand than saying very dark brown eyes or very dark brown hair. And since we also have the dark brown category, it's less confusing. Let's talk about her color characteristics. For hue and temperature, she looks great in cool colors, and she's neutral cool, so cool and neutral cool colors are her best colors. Value. Her colors are dark. Since she is a cool season and a dark type, black looks really good on her. Her eyes and hair don't actually make a lot of contrast with her skin, but she looks great in deep cool colors. Since dark types are all about dark and light types of contrast, her features will look their best when there is a balance between light and dark. Chroma. Like most dark winters, she has a slightly bright chroma level. That means that her colors shouldn't be muted, and they can be slightly bright, but not overly bright, because those colors might overpower her. Let's talk about her outfits. As always, we should start with red. Deep shades of red, like cherry red, blood reds, and crimson, look extremely good on her. Orange and yellow. If we take a look at the first slide, you will notice that they are really warm colors, but since she has a neutral cool undertone, they can make her skin look grayish. If we take a look at this second slide, we can see that some of these warm colors can work, but they should be from the Dark Winter's sister palette, which is the Dark Autumn palette. Still, it can be tricky to know which of these warm colors work well. Even if they work a little bit better, the dress in the middle paired with that makeup still grays her out. Green. Just like red, green is a neutral color on the color wheel. It can be warmer or cooler, but what we know is that it looks amazing on her. It can be even better when the garment has an interesting texture, like velvet. Since these are darker colors, these sort of fabrics give her the final touch she needs. Blue. Blue is a cool color, and Danielle is slightly bright. However, overly bright blues that are also light can take the spotlight from her. If you're like her, choosing something that is slightly darker, deeper, or richer will look way better. On this other slide, you will be able to appreciate how darker blues are perfect for her. Purple and pink. They are both flexible colors, especially for a person with a cool undertone. Purple can lean towards the red side or the blue side. Both of them work really well, and they can be lighter or darker as well. They can also be slightly bright or slightly muted, but it shouldn't go to the extremes on either side. The first two pictures work really well, but when you see the last one, you can see that there are way too many bright colors. Some of them are cool and some of them are warm, but it is a lot. It completely takes the spotlight. Neutrals. For white, since she is slightly bright, true optic white looks very good on her. But some off-whites and pearl whites also look amazing. Black is also an extremely good color for her, and it won't overpower her at all. Brown and gold. She has a neutral cool undertone, and as we have talked before, yellow and gold are a lot more forgiving than other warm colors. That also means that gold looks good on her, but brown doesn't give her a lot of contrast. Most browns will get lost in her features. However, some warmer accents work really well when paired with a color from her palette. Silver and grey look very well. Lighter greys give her more contrast, so personally I do think they look better, but darker greys work as well. Silver looks amazing on her. I don't love the dress, well actually I don't like it at all, but the color is perfect. Next we have Tania Miller. She has a deep dark brown skin tone and her overall undertone is cool. She has black eyes and she has a buzz cut, so I'm not sure about her hair color. So let's go to her color characteristics. Hue and temperature. For the temperature, she looks great in the cool colors. She also looks good in some warmer colors, but if you remember, Dark Autumn and Dark Winter are sister palettes, meaning that their colors share some characteristics. Value. Just like Danielle, her features don't actually make that much contrast against her skin. If you want to know more about that, I will insert a card with my Dark Winter video. Like I said previously, dark types benefit from a light and dark type of contrast. Tania looks really good in light icy colors, but dark colors as well. If you have similar features to her, and if you have a deep dark brown skin tone as well, then when wearing dark colors, try to add a few light accents to increase the contrast in your overall image. Chroma. Just like Danielle, she has a slightly bright saturation level. Her colors shouldn't be muted at all, but they can be slightly bright. Tania is one of those dark winters that are borderline clear winters, but she does look her best in deeper colors. Again, let's start with the outfits. Red. Like almost everyone, red looks very good on her. Darker reds like wine red and cherry red are ideal, but reds from the Dark Autumn palette such as brick red and apple red also look very good. Yellow and orange. Yellow is a lot more forgiving than orange, especially when it's paired with other colors from her palette. Like I said before, she can borrow some colors from the Dark Autumn palette, but oranges and yellows can be too warm for her and either gray her out or make her look too orange. Green. Green looks really good on her. It can be cooler or warmer, but it shouldn't be muted. Tania is slightly bright, therefore her colors should be more saturated and almost never muted. Purple and pink. They are great for cool types and there are a lot of options to choose from. For Tania, they can be light or dark, but bright is preferred over muted tones. Neutrals. With neutrals, even if she is slightly bright, unlike Danielle, Tania has cool undertones and Danielle is neutral cool. Therefore, optic white can be a little bit too much for her. Off-white, grayish whites and even some creamy whites can be a much better option. On the other hand, black is perfect for her. It can be worn by itself, but when it's paired with other colors or when it's in a shinier material, it takes her outfit to another level. Burnt browns from the Dark Autumn palette can work, and cooler browns do too, but they are not great, especially since they don't give her much contrast. Black is a way better option. So this is the middle of the video, I think. By popular demand, I will start adding more dark-skinned people from other ethnicities and also talk about more medium skin tones. If you have any suggestions on people you want to see on my examples, please leave them in the comments as well. For something a bit different, let's start talking about the olive undertones. There will be a separate video about them, but for today the examples will be Liya Kebede and Mindy Kaling. I chose them because their undertone makes their skin look very different depending on the color that they're wearing. The way their cool olive undertone manifests makes their skin look a little bit red or a little bit grey depending on the color. And that happens with a lot of cool olive undertones. Let's start with Mindy. She has a brown skin tone and her overall undertone is cool olive. She also has dark brown eyes and dark brown hair. Now let's talk about her colors. Hue or temperature. She looks great in both cool and neutral colors. Value. Most of the times, she won't get overpowered by black, but she has to make the right color combinations. Her eyes and hair do give her a high contrast level, but even if her colors are dark, they shouldn't be extremely dark. Chroma. Her chroma level is actually slightly muted. If you see this picture, you can definitely notice that bright colors completely overwhelm her. Let's take a look at her outfits. Red. Red looks really good on her, but her reds are not as dark as some of the reds for other dark winters. However, they can be more saturated without overpowering her, in comparison to some of the other colors on this list. Cooler lipsticks that are slightly dark look very good on her, but it shouldn't be an extremely dark shade because that will gray her out. Orange. Orange isn't very friendly to cool seasons, especially if you have a cool olive undertone. Some oranges completely gray her out or make her look too yellow. Something a bit darker from the Dark Autumn palette works better, but it has to be paired with the right colors. Yellow. Burnt yellows look a lot better than orange, but they should be darker and richer and not overly bright. Green. As we have talked before, green looks very good on most seasons. For Mindy, they can be richer, darker, and even slightly muted, but going too bright can be too much for her. Blue. She can wear a great variety of blues. They can be light or dark. For lighter blues, they can be a bit more saturated, but not overly bright, and also a bit more muted, but again, not a lot. True blues and darker blues look really well, but since Mindy's value level isn't very dark, using too many dark colors can overpower her. Having a few accents in lighter or brighter colors is ideal. Purple. I love the way Mindy looks in purple. It can be a red purple or a blue purple, both are great. They can be richer or slightly muted, just like blue. Pink. Pink offers a lot of options, but not all of them suit her features. If you compare the first two pictures, if it is a brighter pink, it should be a blue-based pink and not an orange-based pink. If you're like her, you should also make sure that it isn't overly bright. And for the last two pictures, Mindy is slightly muted, so dustier pinks work, but they shouldn't be too muted. Sometimes going for something that has a medium chroma level is a better option. Neutrals. Similar to Tania, Optic White isn't the worst, but it can make her look yellow. Off-whites and natural whites will match her features perfectly. Mindy is a dark winter, meaning that black will look good on her, but it can be too severe if she doesn't pair it correctly. You can definitely see that if you compare the first two pictures. In one, she pairs it with silver and a softer lipstick, and in the second one, she pairs it with a very dark lipstick. The first picture represents the perfect balance between light and dark colors for her. Now, gray technically works very well on people with cool undertones, but let's keep in mind that Mindy has an olive undertone. Cool olive undertones can look reddish or grayish. If she wears regular neutral gray by itself, it can blend too much with her skin and drain the color from her features, graying her out. Pairing gray or different shades of gray with other colors is a way better option. And for our last example, we have Liya Kebede. She has a brown skin tone and her overall undertone is cool olive. She has dark brown eyes and dark brown hair. Let's take a look at her color characteristics. For the temperature, she looks great in neutral cool colors and neutral warm colors. Value. Just like Mindy, her eyes and hair make a lot of contrast with her skin tone. She can wear dark colors, and you can see that she doesn't get overpowered by black because it does match her features. Those dark colors can drain her out if she adds too many to her face. Chroma. She has a medium saturation level. Her colors shouldn't be too bright or too muted. And now we have the final list of colors. Again, let's start with red. Having a medium chroma level, she looks good in a lot of reds with different saturation levels. They can be slightly brighter or slightly muted. They can also be darker or just a regular red. Orange. Like I said before, orange is not friendly to people with olive undertones. But Liya can wear some oranges and they look great. However, it should be one that isn't too close to her skin tone, and just like many other colors, it should be paired with other colors from her palette. Yellow. Yellow can also look very good in her. It can be a richer yellow or a softer yellow, but bright yellow can be too much. Green. Green is perfect for Liya. True green is the safest option, but she can also experiment with lighter greens, slightly brighter greens, and even slightly muted greens, keeping in mind that she shouldn't go to any of the extremes, because overly bright greens and overly muted greens, like the one in the last picture, can gray her out. Blue. Again, blue is perfect for dark winters. In this slide, you can see that dark blues look amazing on her, but they should be paired with the right colors, nothing too severe. Lighter blues are also a very good option. They can have a medium saturation level or be a little bit more muted or a little bit brighter, but again, not a lot. Purple. This would be one of the safe colors for someone who has her features. She looks very good in them. Either cooler purples or warmer purples. They can be darker or lighter. Pink. Pink also offers a lot of options. Muted pinks can even be used as a neutral shade for her. Pairing it with more colors would be ideal in order to give her the right contrast level, but it does work for her. Bright pinks can be a little bit too much and make her look a bit yellow or green, so something that has a medium saturation level or just a slightly bright saturation level works better. Neutrals. Like most of the other dark winters that we have talked about, natural whites and off-whites blend better with her features than true optic white. Light grays and greyish also look very good on her, but because of her cool olive undertone, wearing too many muted colors can drain her color and make her look grey as well. Pairing it with other colors, whether they're warmer or cooler, is a good idea to keep the balance. Black. Black looks very good, but just like Mindy, it can be too severe if she has too many dark colors near her face, specifically her lips. Brown and gold. Gold can be too warm for her, and some browns are way too close to her skin tone, making it a little bit boring. If you're like her, your gold should be softer, like a champagne gold. And your browns should be either lighter, like grayish and cream, or something darker that creates more contrast. And finally, we have silver and gray. Silver is perfect for her, and lighter grays that mimic that silvery color are amazing. However, gray looks much better when it is paired with more colors. Some dark grays can also clash with her undertone, so if you want to be safe, going for a lighter gray is a better option. This was everything for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video and that it helped you see how color interacts with different features on different people, even if they share a season. And if you liked this video, you can like, subscribe, and share it if you found it interesting. And again, you can visit my blog, micalumsden.com, for more information. And if you want me to make you a custom color chart, you can go to cocostyling.com and book me as your personal stylist. Have a nice day, and I do hope to see you soon.